For decades, Moradabad has functioned as the brass capital of India. But the massive industrial output and wealth generated by the city's foundries came at an absolute cost to its local environment. Unchecked runoff from industrial workshops and residential zones flowed directly into the city's water bodies, turning Moradabad's ponds into stagnant, toxic dead zones. The pollution triggered complete eutrophication. Fueled by excess nutrients, thick, invasive vegetation and sludge blanketed the surface until the water itself was no longer visible. This localized toxicity also impacted the city's air. Noxious gases rising from decaying ponds contributed to a severe atmospheric crisis, with the air quality index regularly reaching hazardous levels between 350 and 500. Moradabad's economic success had effectively engineered an ecological prison, trapping its citizens in a highly toxic urban environment. Below the surface, the natural systems were failing. A 2009 Central Groundwater Board report confirmed that rainfall could no longer filter into the ground, completely stopping the city's groundwater recharge. Baseline telemetry from mid-2022 reveals the collapse. In the Mainathar Pond, biological oxygen demand reached a hazardous 2,456 milligrams per liter. Total suspended solids peaked at 26,664. The water was replaced by an impermeable, toxic sludge that the earth could no longer absorb. Because the ground could not absorb water, standard monsoon rains triggered immediate urban flooding. A 100-millimeter rain event would overwhelm the city, leaving citizens to navigate submerged streets. This broken hydrological system turned vital rainfall into a public health disaster, providing the perfect breeding ground for yearly outbreaks of vector-borne diseases. In April 2022, an intervention began using a nature-based solution called cownomics. The technology was deployed to specifically target the toxic water and revive the pond's biological capacity to process waste. Over the following months, the transformation was visible. Dead, algae-choked surfaces like those at Shahpur Tigri Pond cleared, revealing healthy, reflective water bodies. This crash in pollutants was measured scientifically. Total suspended solids plummeted from over 26,000 to a baseline under 10. The shift also reached the city's atmosphere. By neutralizing the off-gassing from tons of decaying organic matter, the project eliminated a constant source of airborne pollutants and noxious haze. Following these local interventions, Moradabad's air quality index, which previously averaged over 300, dropped and stayed below 80 for 365 consecutive days. Fixing the foundational hydrology had triggered a ripple effect, clearing the atmospheric haze above while simultaneously recharging the dying aquifers below. The resilience of this new system was tested in July 2023 when a massive deluge of 160 millimeters of rain hit the city. During that same period, the national capital of Delhi suffered severe urban flooding despite receiving only half the amount of rainfall that hit Moradabad. In Moradabad, the result was different. Because the aquifers and soil beds were functioning again, the restored ponds absorbed the extreme monsoon with zero overflow. This ecological restoration allowed the city to manage extreme weather through its own natural drainage capacity. Removing the stagnant water had a direct effect on public health. Vector-borne disease rates dropped to a 3-year low during the first monsoon following treatment. Local biodiversity returned almost immediately. Over 90% of residents reported significant increases in bird populations, alongside returning turtles and aquatic life. This ecological recovery was recognized internationally when a delegation from the World Wildlife Fund arrived to study the success of the conservation efforts. Community behavior has changed. Residents now utilize community dustbins and gather along clean, fenced pathways, safely enjoying fresh air around the restored ponds. The return of clean water has also improved local agricultural irrigation and created new employment opportunities for the surrounding communities. Moradabad provides evidence that even advanced industrial degradation can be reversed. Through targeted, nature-based solutions, the city has stabilized its hydrology, its atmosphere, and its community health.